Mark Jackson, a native Washingtonian, has spent his career in public service, helping some of the most difficult cases of truant youth that require court intervention.
These kids and these families aren't coming voluntarily. And oftentimes there's a lot of resistance, there's anger. One of my very first cases, it was a young man who was on the verge of getting locked up, being removed from the community. The services that I put in place worked. He responded to me. He ended up graduating from college, maintaining contact with me over the years. I saw that probation can work, that if you put the right types of services in place, you can change lives.
Mark Jackson has spent the last 25 years serving some of the most vulnerable populations of our city. Many of these individuals, now parents themselves, know Mark on a first-name basis and have stayed in touch throughout the years.
Mark is one of those managers that does not mind getting in the quote-unquote weeds. It's nothing for Mark to see a kid on the street, pick him up, and take him to school, because that's where he needs to be.
He knew all of our kids' names. Parents knew Mr. Jackson on a first-name basis. I always admired that in Mr. Jackson.
Mark would be here sometimes at 10 or 11 o'clock at night doing the work, reviewing the cases. At that particular moment in time, Mark Jackson was the only person who could have handled that status offender caseload in the manner that it was handled in.
We worked together on a calendar that we called the Person in Need of Supervision calendar. The acronym is PINS. It was at the time when the number of cases coming into that calendar was on the rise.
Our responsibility was to process the hundreds, maybe even thousands of truancy referrals that came our way.
The families that we tend to see in the PINS calendar are families that need a wide array of services. Youth in particular need services like functional family therapy or trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy. They need support with school. One of the things that Mr. Jackson did was that he was very effective in getting all the workers of the status offender unit to connect the families and the youth under their supervision with the necessary services.
The issue of truancy in the District of Columbia is a very challenging one. You truly have to collaborate with the other partners and stakeholders in dealing with it.
That's something that up until that time I don't think we had been doing as a comprehensive basis.
I mean, because one thing, his staff was always on point. With whatever his vision was, that's what their vision was, and that's a credit to him.
It took some time, but by that fourth year, we saw an improvement in terms of the rate of truancy.
I was very excited when I heard that Mark had won the Cafritz Service Award, because he is so deserving.
And it was a long overdue recognition of the excellence and the passion that he brought to his work over such an extended period of time.
And we hope that we can make him as proud one day.
That's right.
You have to like your job. I don't know what else I would do if I wasn't doing this.